Whew. Oh boy. I'm gonna make sure my sound is working. OBS has been a little bit temperamental lately, and it is. That's good. Such is so good. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? It is it is a typical October day in Northeast Oregon and in the northwest part of the United States. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the bench. I hope you all are having a really wonderful Monday. Mine's been busy as can be. I've been nonstop with clients and customers coming in today, which is really, thank you very much for your support and your trust in my work and in our shop. All right, so the sound's working. That's great to know. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah. I'm gonna have some coffee. I like it. I've got a Diet Pepsi. Probably am not gonna drink a bunch of it today, but I'll do my best. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just dive right in. Hello there. We have a youngster here. I'm working on a pretty cool instrument owned by a very good friend of mine, Larry. He lives in the beautiful town of Baker, Baker City, Oregon. A very well-known kind of rockabilly groove guitar player, a singer, and he gets out and plays a lot. And he brought this beautiful instrument in to my shop to have some work done on it. Now Larry does almost all of his own guitar work, but in this case he felt like he needed my help, which I'm very much respect that because this one, yeah, it's a pretty valuable guitar, and there she is. Take a look at the headstock. Try and keep it out here where you can get an idea. You can see the finish is checkered and cracked off of it. There's a really nice finish crack, a nice on the back of the neck right there. The back of the guitar has been well taken care of. Flathead screws holding the, I call them flathead screws, standard screws holding the neck plate in. And if you care to, you can take a look at the serial number on this thing
stuff with my family, and I thought I'd combine. Boy, I want to
see what you think.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Write that down and tell me what the date you think this guitar is. There you go. Right there.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know how well you can see that.
So as you can see, I have a really expensive spoon, I have a fairly
Okay.
expensive camera. Let's see what else I have back here.
So, a few details about this instrument. We'll point you down here at the guitar so you can get a good look at the overall front of the guitar. I don't know how much this guitar has been altered from its original construction, but I'm going to allow you guys to tell me what year you think this is. I'm not going to say anything more than that. We're going to measure the neck radius right now, and I guessed that it was a 9.5, and it definitely is. So if the guitar is from the era that I believe it is, given the serial number that I'm running, this is definitely, the neck's been changed on this one. And also I believe that I'm going to need to put a shim in the neck on this guitar. We have neck string action that you could darn near throw a horse through. You see the height of that neck, or the string action here.
And what's it roughly cost?
And You see that some of the strings have been altered, or the action's been altered considerably. So there is that going on. And here's the E string action upside down for your viewing pleasure. Yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful guitar. Now, a couple of details I promised I'd share with you. I don't know, obviously, everything there is to know about this guitar. Aside from the fact that it was restored by a luthier named John Bolin. He's in Idaho, and I've tried to contact him. And obviously haven't been able to get a hold of him because, well, he builds guitars for guys like Billy Gibbons and Joe Bonamassa. And I'd probably be easier to get a hold of Billy or Joe than it would be to get a hold of John. So really cool. But a couple of details. The body of this guitar was cracked. And I believe he described that it was cracked across here, so the body cavity, and this is where they crack. They'll crack across here because of this weak spot, the wood drying out again. And there's a little crack in the finish here. So obviously, when he did the repair, and I don't know, another spot they crack is right down here, the neck, through where all these cavities are. They'll crack almost right down the middle, but usually on the bottom side of the neck they'll crack. It's just a weak spot in the wood, and the wood dries out over years of dehydration and such, becomes brittle and gets bumped, and that's all it takes. So the first thing I'm going to do, plug this thing in, just make sure. Just want to make sure all the electronics are working good. Let's turn on the amp. So one thing I'm noticing right out of the gate is that it takes a long time for the volume. Right about there is when the actual guitar kicks on, so you have to turn it almost a full quarter turn before you get any volume at all out of the amplifier. And I'm probably hearing that better than you are. Let me turn this effect off. Okay, so here's the electronics are in really good working order. I did open up the cavity here and take a look at the electronics to see if I could find some date codes. All of the electronics have been switched out in this guitar. They've probably worn out from use, is what I would guess. That's a good guess, Richard, and it's about as good as a guess as I could give it. I did run the serial number, I'll just say that. I definitely ran the serial number, and if it is truly what the serial number says, this guitar is very valuable. So what I can tell you is that, and again, here's the serial number if you care to run it yourself. I don't mind showing that. Hopefully you can read that. I'm not going to say it out loud. There you go. You can back up and look at that if you need to. Let's see. Original parts on this. I know that the neck position pickup has been replaced. The original one was damaged, like typical Fender TELE neck pickups. The casing often will get down there and slice the the wires, that was kind of a flaw in the design of the pickups. And so the lead wires off of the pickup, if this gets bumped very hard and pushed down into those wires, it'll slice them off. So this is I believe, a Seymour Duncan pickup. This is the original pickup that came in the guitar. It is string wound around the outside of the copper windings and that. So I believe that this is the original pickup in its original form. The neck, and we'll do a flyby here. We'll take you on a little flyby shot. The neck is not the original neck. I don't have an explanation as to why the neck was replaced, but I'm going to have to take the neck off of this today anyhow. I believe the deal is this guitar, the string action is twice as high as it needs to be, and we'll just take a look at it real quick. Checking it here at the 17th fret like you do on a Fender, and we are measuring 8/64 on the bass E string and 7/64 on the treble E string, which means I need to drop this down at least 3/64 of an inch, and I barely have enough room down here. Not to mention, if I do lower that far, these screws are going to be sticking up out of the saddles, and I just don't like that. I don't like doing that to a player because it can slice you. So the action on this thing has gotten really out of hand. So before I do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and pull the neck, but first I'm going to grab a shim. I believe I got some shims here. Where did my shim material go? Where did you go? Where did you go? Oh, I burned through all of my shims, apparently. I usually have a few extra Fender shims laying here. Let me make sure I'm not missing something. Oh no, there they are. All right, I knew I had them. I knew I had some. I just hit them. Let's see. Now, there can be great discussion about how shimming a neck will change the tone of your guitar, the sound of your guitar. And I will argue that until I die, that if you think that putting a shim in the neck of your guitar makes your guitar sound different, you're I don't agree with you. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Well, let me say hi to everybody. Richard, welcome. Zach, thanks you guys for being here. Zach was here pretty early. Look, I saw him over at Jade's channel today. She's doing a live stream, doing some video editing stuff. Really cool to watch that happen. Sean, hello. Rody, what's up? Hello again. Yeah, I'm on twice today. You know, I had to take a little short break. I had to eat. And man, I've been busy. And again, you'll notice I'm wearing a stocking cap and a flannel, and yeah, it cooled off. It got cold. Like, it was 70 degrees 3 days ago, and today it's typical. It's 35 degrees and raining. Your typical Oregon winter, fall, if you will. It's coming. Hello, Charlie. Hey, I saw that you said hello earlier. Forgive me for not responding to that. I was eating lunch and just didn't have time. Thank you for being here. I know you guys are just now showing up. And again, I've got a a Telecaster. Here she is. Look at that. And I'm gonna show you all this one more time. There's the serial number. Go ahead and type that in, a Google search for that serial number, and see what you find. Yeah, look at that number. Can you all see that well enough? Let me see if I can make sure that it's visible. Yeah, there. I'll hold it there just for a moment. Oh, got a little close, I think. Right on, write it down. Yeah. Get too close and it gets blurry. Right on. That might tell you a little something about what I might have in my hands right now that most people don't ever even get to see, let alone touch. So I'm very honored to have this. So let's go ahead and dig right in. I'm going to shut my amp off. It's making a little bit of noise here. We're going to unplug this, and I want to take a look at my shims that I've got here. And I usually do trim these shims down. Not usually, I always trim these shims down so they're virtually invisible. Yeah, cool. So I've got a 0.5, which is probably what I will use. This one is a 1 degree, and that's going to be way too much. But I feel like I'm better off for Larry to put this shim in the neck, given what I'm seeing here, because the neck relief is absolutely perfect right now. So I don't want to have to adjust the truss rod, and that won't do anything for it. So, and I could lower the saddles, but then again, the saddle screws are going to push up through the saddles, and that makes it uncomfortable to play. So, oh. Hi, hey, Great Vanzini, hello, thank you, welcome everybody, welcome to the bench. I heard something. I have friends in low places that exposed me to some music coming from you, and it's an honor to get to hear that stuff often before a lot of other people do. It's really cool. Your playing is simply fantastic, bro. I hope you're enjoying this wonderful October Oregon weather too. We got 3 boys from Oregon in the house today, for sure. That's so awesome. So let's go ahead and dig in. And get you pointed down here at the work that I'm going to be doing. And yep, you're watching me do this right in front of your eyes, I guess. I'm going to get my screwdriver out. Now, I realize watching somebody turn screws is really not terribly fun, but this is what I have to do on this thing. And you might be asking, well, the strings are still on it. Yeah, probably a couple of them will pop off of here, but there's no reason on a Fender guitar that has to have its neck removed to adjust the truss rod. There's absolutely no reason at all to take the strings off of it, ever. Leave them. These flathead screws, boy. Probably do well to grab a bigger screwdriver, but I worry about scratching up the original plate. The guitar has obviously been refinished. When the crack, I believe it was cracked through this area of the guitar. I didn't fully understand when Larry was trying to explain to me how the guitar was broken, you know, or you know, the general break that happened. And he didn't seem to remember. It's been decades ago that he had the work done on it. And I have to believe that this is probably the first time. Oh, and the other reason I'm not using my larger screwdriver is because it's missing. I probably misplaced it, or somebody borrowed it and didn't return it, which isn't common here, but I don't know. Once in a while I'm missing tools that I always have in my box. So I would be using a larger screwdriver. Alright, so here we go. We're going to get a look at the neck in this instrument. I don't know if Larry's going to be watching me perform the work today on his instrument. Can't say that he'll be here or not, but if he does pop in, I'll let you all know. Okay, got a bit more screws to undo here. I'm going to go ahead and lay this back down. I'm going to go ahead and pull that one out of there. Pull this one out of there. There we go. That one's holding on. Yeah, there we go. It just broke loose. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take this plate off of here. Otherwise, it's just going to fall off anyway. I'm going to try and keep my camera guy sober today and see how good of a job he does. All right. Wow. Wow. So there is no shim in the neck at this point. I want to take a look at the end of the neck to see if I have a date code on that. And I do not. So, but you have to pull the neck off of the instrument to turn the truss rod anyway. Hey Het, what's happening? Mr. Hetriani is in the house. I got to hear some music from him also in the recent weeks. It's fun to know these guys outside of communities, because I get to hear some really cool music. I know we all do, but it's fun for me. Okay. We are going to place this 0.5. You'll notice, you know, the treble E string came off, or I'm sorry, the B string came loose, which is fine. Let me get some material out of the way here so I can set this neck down outside of the guitar. Bring. And what I'm going to do here is, let me get the camera up a little bit higher. Sorry about the puke ride you guys are on here. Hopefully my camera guy is doing an okay job. Okay. See that fits pretty good. There's a bit of an overlap on this side and it's a bit too long. So I'm going to do a little bit of trimming. I need to cut up these corners. Alright, so now I've got a really good solid fit into that neck pocket for the shim. So it's fully back against the body of the guitar. And if you ever wanted to know, did anybody run that, did anybody else run that serial number? Curious. Did anybody get a date for me on this TELE. And now I'm gonna do a bit of sanding. Get some elbow grease going here. And then I'll check the fit. We're pretty darn close. Pretty darn close. I got to take a little more material off of this. The shim is too wide this direction and it's too long this direction, so I'll be taking a little bit of material off the front edge of this also. Stuff smells really weird when you sand it. I always have a piece of sandpaper here on my bench for little sanding jobs like that. There we go. You can see that at this point, what I'm looking for is to not overlap out into this area, and there's a narrow spot right here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and try and take a little more of that off of there.
Oops, I must have sold it. I had one right there, but it's gone. Okay. And if I don't have a strictly acoustic guitar amp in stock, you come in, bring a guitar in and plug it into like a Viper 2, and they're pretty decent for acoustic guitar. But it has a lot of effects. So you don't have to, large out for it, but lock-up ports and all that stuff. So that would be what I would do, or a small PA head. Cascading system.
I want to make sure that none of this shim overlaps the edge of the guitar here, so you can't feel it. And that's looking really nice. And what I'll do on the back side of this is I will draw a line. So we're overlapping here in the front edge. So I'm going to stand this bad boy up. See if I can do this without knocking my camera over. The camera's tripping up in the guitar strings. And I actually should go ahead and take these strings off of here, and I probably will. My magic pencil. I want this shim to be invisible. Unvisible. I know it took me a second to mark that, but I'm gonna be real certain that I get, and I can't work with my glasses on. I can't see up close with those things on. And there's my mark. I've got two marks on there. It's the outer mark. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this on the line. Come on. Gotta get my finger out of the way. Amazing how often you can use a pair of scissors to do repairs on your own guitar for stuff just like this.
Yeah, look up the acoustic amp for me.
Yeah, that's a special order. It takes a year or two to try it, but it'd be about $200 for the Viper 1.
Okay.
Let me look up the other.
I'm going to take a little bit more off of this corner, just a touch. Make sure. I'm going to take a sanding take it to my sanding block here, which is my workbench. And as you can see, it's nice and visible now. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is get the strings off this thing. Could have done that earlier, of course, but we'll get these strings off of here. That'll make this work out a little easier and keep these out of the way. Let me get my cutters. Pretty cool. Anybody get a date on this guitar running that serial number? It's in the video. Ha ha ha. Rody, you are yeah, invisible invisible shim. Hey, we have something. But if we record that song, brother, if we record that song, it has to be done at 301 beats per minute.
I mean, you have to get used to, you know,
301.
make sure that you put it on acoustic and you keep it simple and not get crazy with the phenomenon. Then you can have just a couple sounds that you use when you fire it up.
Okay, so I've got the shim all lined up in there. Yeah, 301, baby. Okay. I'm gonna put this shim out of the way and get these strings out of here. And one of the ways we were able to diagnose the age of the guitar was the original. Oops, let me get you pointed down here at the action. Was the original ferrules in the back of this. Trojan 68, welcome. Yeah, 301, Het. You better let Gary know. He's in for it. I don't even think he can play that fast. There we go. Get these old Diodario strings. I call them Diodarios. What do you guys call them? Diodarios? Right? Diodarios. Diodarios works. And again, okay, 1959, that's a good guess. That may be, Het and I have had a long-standing joke. Me and Het and Gary Hubbs have had a long-standing joke going on about tempos of songs. Yeah, Diodario, okay. Let's see. Looking at the back side, there's the underside of a neck plate right there. My journeyman's standing there watching me work today. He's got a little bit of interest in this one also. He's probably worked on it 50 times and doesn't even know it. All right. I'm gonna shim the neck versus raising those saddle or lowering those.
I agree.
These screws are gonna poke somebody in the hand if I had to lower it that far.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the tone of a guitar being damaged from putting a shim in the neck?
Honestly, Fender did it from the factory, so I don't see why it would be a problem. And they weren't very big shim. Fender used it really small.
Yeah, a little dinky.
As long as the shim is made out of the right material, it's going to be in keeping with the original, unless a phenolic paper or a fiber.
Yeah, I've seen those tons of times. But you know, it's funny how many people think that putting a shim in the neck of a guitar is like sacrilegious, and the inventor of the guitar did it.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're gonna turn some more screws. I apologize, my camera guy's a little drunk today, like usual. I'm just cinching this one up. I'm not gonna get it totally tight, but just cinching it up. Whew. That is why I cannot stand slotted head screwdrivers or flat head screws. Just things. Been a lot of guitars scratched because of this. But back in the day, that's all they could make.
As my overtime check comes in, I can pay for the extras in life.
I told you 380, didn't I?
You did.
Well, that's what you got me to do then. I love this stainless stuff. I mean, honestly, as soon as we let me down, I'm a firm lover of stainless. One thing about that deck I like also, not that you care, but you can always add satellite radios.
Go. And there is our neck shimmed. There we go. Now, my guess at this point is I'm probably going to have to raise these saddles. Let's see. Are the frets in decent shape? Yeah. Vanzini, they really are. I'll bring you over the top here. You know, I have some time today. Yeah, I've been really doing well with getting notifications on YouTube. My knees hurt. Just commented on that. I get notes when Preston goes live, when Leela goes live, Ron Ward, Metalhead Hippie, Jade, Falcro, Vice Grip Garage, KSR. I've been really lucky, and I don't know why that is, but it seems like I'm getting to see and notified, and I get a lot of notifications from YouTube, which I do not tune into everything. I can't. So, yeah. Great Vanzini, I'm going to fly you over the fingerboard here. Try and keep you about, the camera is about a foot above the fingerboard, and frets are in really awesome shape. They're very well maintained. Larry takes extremely good care. And here's the cowboy cord, the money hole down here. And I'm hoping that you can see, and I'm getting a little close, I think. The divots here are deep enough that I can feel them, but if this was my guitar, it would not warrant me doing a fret level on this yet. This has another good year to 2 years of good solid playing before I would take the time and money to put a fret level and crown onto this. A fret level and crown generally costs around $150, which might sound outrageously cheap to some, but I have to meet my demographic. In Portland, it would cost you $300. I doubt, well, of course, not much about this guitar is original, and I don't believe the decal is original on that. I think Fender, hey Stu?
Yes, sir.
Didn't Fender usually shoot lacquer over their decals?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that decal's been replaced, and probably the neck's been refinished. So kind of get a good idea. Yeah, Vice Grip Garage. Yeah, buddy, I have a hat. Not this one, but I think this is, nah, is this that pedal show? No, this is just some generic hat that I bought at Bimart. Please shop at Bimart or other employee-owned businesses versus Walmart. Don't shop at Walmart. That's my request. All right. Yeah, Vice Grip Garage is fun. Derek's an awesome dude. Okay, so we've got the shim put in here now, and it's time to string it up to see what I've accomplished with putting a shim in there. And remember, the string action was nearly twice at the 17th fret what it needs to be appropriate. I want 5/64 at the 17th fret on a Telecaster, just to kind of go with the Mann's Leo Fender's specs. 5/64 at the 17th fret, not the 12th fret on a Fender. Okay, so love these strings packaged up like this. There we go. All right. Let me get that out of the way, that out of the way. Trying to keep stuff tidy here. And put my rag down. And you know, a couple of things we'll let y'all see here real quick beforehand is check out the screws. They're flathead or standard screws, even in the pickup. And I don't know if this is the original ashtray that came on this. I can't tell you. The finish isn't worn enough that would lead me to believe that this is the original one. But it does have the Fender patent pending tag in it. So it could be original. The owner did tell me that the pickup is original. Can't stand Walmart. Karen, thank you. Yes, and you're right. Yeah. I watched far too many great businesses in my home be destroyed and replaced with selling absolute garbage. Anything you buy at Walmart is garbage, junk. They are a. Yeah, I'm gonna stay out of that. Right, I'll shut up. I'll shut up. And you know, I realize they employ a lot of people, but they pay them dirt. Their policies for insurance and full-time employment, it's just, I mean, we're all very well aware of what they've done. This is an interesting set of strings. Diodarios. This is a set of 9 to 42s. I want to make sure that, yeah, we're all good. Yes, sir.
I need to go to the bank.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Cool, cool. Oop, let me get you down here in the action. Yeah. Yeah, we used to have a lot of really great grocery stores here, like several of them that were owned by several different families, and you could go in and, you know, really affordable, oddball groceries and stuff. It was really cool. And Walmart showed up, and all you can buy is candy and sugar. Candy and sugar. I know this is, you know, really exciting. I get to do this on almost every single live stream where I get to string up a guitar, and you all know how to do this, but according to the serial number, if you ran the serial number, how many of you have actually ever seen with your own eyes a 1952 Telecaster? Anyone? 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 I'm in the presence of two of them right now as I stand here at my shop. This, according to the serial number, is a 1952 Telecaster. Yeah. Cool, cool. Since even 1982. Dang. My Buymark card. I lost it. I don't even know when, but I bought mine. I think I got mine in 19. When I was old enough, my dad got me a card to get a card just because it would possibly I could win something with it. Is that? Oh, just gonna watch some WWE Monday Night Raw. That's cool. That sounds like fun. WWE. That's what is that? Wrestling, or is that mixed martial arts? I'm not familiar with WWE stuff. I watch no television, so I don't know about that stuff. Take a look at these saddles. Okay. Yeah, and the saddles definitely have been worn. I don't think these were notched by a luthier or the owner. I think it's just string wear has notched them. Yeah, that direction. I need to get my string winder out. I'll do that here in a moment. But this will be cool to see what happens here with this low E string. The moment I get this string on here, it'll tell me what kind of work my shim did. The neck will not have full relief on it yet because I don't have full string tension on all the strings, but this will give me a good idea. And that shim, I'm measuring 3/64 right now at the 17th fret with the low E string on there. Yeah, looking good. Let me get my string winder so I can make short work of this. Stringing up a TELE is really so easy. I love stringing these things up. These are not the original machine heads that I'm aware of. Kind of watching the... I want to get that string to... I go 2.5 machine heads further than the machine head that it's going to get wrapped on, and do that whole thing. Try to make this as quick as I can. I go about 3 on the unwound strings just to give myself a little extra wrap on these ones. Am I gonna get, yeah. Want to get an extra wrap on the unwound strings. It helps to create the friction that's needed to keep them from slipping. Kind of strange. And we got to remember we got the string tree here to get the string under. So we'll run that under there. I know y'all can't see real well what I'm doing up here, but that's not that important. We'll get to the important part of this setup because the guitar really didn't need a whole lot, in my humble opinion. But once I get further along the road, we'll know what we got to do. a little bit more. Should be pretty close to being in tune. And usually on the treble E, I cut about 1.5 to 2 inches off the end of the string. This one is actually kind of long. It's a D'Addario string, so 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Beautiful old guitar. These machine heads are in really good shape. Really, really good shape. I think that's too sharp. Let's check our tuning. See how good my ear is today. I need a new back. Wow, look at that. That's pretty darn good. The A was almost perfect. And give them a good stretch. These are 9-gauge strings, so we got to be real gentle not to break them. Already see what's happened here is that the string, the treble E string didn't land in the slot that it's supposed to go in. There we go. It goes right there. How much did you get?
Give me it back. Had to go to the bank.
How many millions?
That was a $367 check.
Oh boy. Okay. Yep, that was an important one. So the shim looks perfect, man. I mean, I think it. I may not even have to. Larry did say that he's like not like ultra low action, but
Yeah, but it's nice to have a little bit of run, room.
yeah, yeah. And I just measured it after I had the low E string on there, and it was measuring 3/64, so down here, and no fret buzz.
That's it.
0.
As long as you can do a 2-fret bend on it, you can hold anywhere on it, you're good to go.
Yep.
Oh,
I need three frets.
I do too. That's for me. I'm a firm believer in it. I like to be able to do it when I want to. Not that I do it on every song, but
Yeah.
oh,
They're all looking good. Alright, guys. My ear still works, man. I almost nailed this one. I was about 2 cents off.
good.
Maybe 3.
When I played all the time, and worked on guitars all the time, I used to be able to get pretty darn close. But
What's that now?
I used to be able to get them fairly close, you
Yeah.
know. But anymore, just a little. I have to think about it.
Well, let's check ravishing. Oh yeah. Wrestling. Oh, WWF. Okay. Cool. Oh yeah, I used to watch it. Well, if you know anything about wrestling and you know about the city of Portland, because that was basically the start of well, I think Portland and Atlanta kind of had similar deals with the wrestling. I lived about, well, when I was 8 years old, I could walk down to the Portland Wrestling Arena and watch wrestling. My mom would give me $5 and go down and watch wrestling. Kind of. Yeah, and yeah, so I did enjoy a lot of wrestling early in my life. It was cool. Portland, Oregon, Roddy Piper, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, all of them. All those bad boys came from Portland. And, you know, it was interesting because living up there, when Portland was still a beautiful city to live in, and, you know, a 10-year-old kid could go ride his bike and not get stolen or kidnapped, whatever happens up there now. It was really awesome. It was such a great place, and the Portland wrestling with Tom Peterson, Shag Thomas, yeah, nice. All right, so back to setup time. So I've got the strings on here, and they are tuned up to pitch, and the string action here at the 12th fret, it's a little bit low. I'm reading 3.5 64ths on the bass E string, and I'm reading about 2.5 on the treble E. But, you know, I wish Het was here to play this thing, but I'm gonna have to play it. I have to. It's kind of a part of the pain of being a guitar repair technician, is that you have to play the guitars when you're working on them. Let's crank it up, see what she does, see how much fret buzz we can come up with here. I just want to check it right now with the string action where it is, because it's pretty low and might encounter some bending issues when bending notes. But I know compared to where it was, Larry would love this far better than where it was. We just cut the string action in less than half, so which is too much, but let's see. Oh, and the other thing is that he's reversed the control on this thing, so we got the, you know, which I kind of like that. It gets that volume control. Yeah, and I can tell I'm going to have to adjust the... That. So what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and do a string action setup real quick. Where are my? There they are. These little guys. handy dandy screwdrivers. Let's turn that amp off, it's kind of noisy. Let's go ahead and set the string action up where it's supposed to be. So, let's go through this process. And if you do play guitar, let's see, some twang. I got this is bottomed out. I'm going to make a preemptive strike here. Just get them close. Oh shoot, these move really rapidly. So what I'm going to do is on the treble E, I'm going to go to 3.5 64th. That's right, 3.5. Yep. On the B string, I'm going to go to 3.5. And right now it's currently at 1/64 of an inch. So get it up. There's 3.5 right there. And on the G string, I'm going to go to in between 3.5 and 4. There we go. Yeah. And on the D string, I'm going to go up to 4. And on the A string, I'm going to go 4.5. These saddles are behaving great. There we go. And on the E string, we're going to go up to 5. Now I'm going to double check these because you move one and then they all move, of course. 5. That's 4 and a little bit tall there. And that's at 4. This one is a little bit high. Where is it? There we go. 3.5. And the treble E is a little bit high. Let's see if she makes noise now. And we'll have to retune it, of course. I wish I could twang. We got a lot of rain going on, making my nose run. My goodness, it's kind of odd that my nose is running. I usually don't get a runny nose, but it's real wet outside, so. Here we go. She's about ready to go. Interesting, you know, you can. Interesting. Now we're talking. Somebody's calling. Sounds like we need a little bit of intonation. Let's check our intonation. Thing feels really good. It's a really solid guitar, I think. Yeah. Round two. Let's check the intonation on this bad boy. See what that's telling us. I like the compensated saddles that are sold for. Oh, I got to make sure to A at 4. No. Let's see. How do I change that? Let's see. Hold that down. No. Bass guitar. Sharp, flat. Drop, capo. No. Flat. Sharp. Uh-oh. Let's see. How do I? Strobo tuner. Can't remember how to guitar sweetened. Enter. Let me go forward here. I've got to see what I've got is my tuner is now set to 446. So I've got to let's see. Acoustic sweetened. G12. Can't remember 7-string. Banjo. SC9, SC6. Boy, it's got a lot of ukulele. L. What's L? It's an L5. I have no idea. Violin, banjo, mandolin, bass, guitar, EQ. I don't know what that would. Guitar sweetened. All right, so let me hold this. No. If I hold that, maybe if I hold them both, FDR, I might have to look up the directions how to use this thing. Somehow let's see, come on. I have no idea. That's saying it's on, but I don't know if it's on at 445 or that's not guitar. I'm gonna compare this with my. Kind of interesting. I'm having a little issue with my strobe tuner because I altered the pitch on this the other day for a client. I cannot remember how to. It says it's dead on there. There we go. It says reading at 440. Okay, that'll work. Here we go. I'm gonna tilt this up. I'll see what's happening here. Actually, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do this in this. Nice. I'm gonna do this in the seated position. so that I've got the guitar in the playing position to intonate it, which means you can't really watch me do you can't see the tuner, but that's okay. And it's a flat head. We'll use this screwdriver to make the adjustments if they're needed. So we're a little sharp on the E, which is what it sounded like overall. It sounded to me like the intonation was a little bit sharp overall. And we're right on the A. I'm going to give it one small movement here. I don't want to go too far on that. I don't want to make the A sharp. Very precise work doing this. Still a bit sharp. I'm gonna go ahead and move this saddle some more. Let's see how that did. No, isn't this exciting? There we go. Sharp. It's a little bit sharp. That one also is sharp. So everything's a little bit sharp on this, given the movement that I made to the neck. So we're gonna, seems to respond pretty well to the movements that I'm making on the saddles. Sometimes you move a saddle a long ways and the intonation doesn't adjust much at all. Kind of wondering, why isn't the intonation changing? I think, there we go, dead on. Still just a touch sharp. So we're going to lengthen the length of the string. About as good as I'm going to get it right there. Sharp, sharp. One thing about doing this, man, Do not scratch the instrument with your guitar or with your screwdriver. Oof, that could be bad. We're still just a touch sharp. Just a touch. That's as good as we're going to get. The instrument is now intonated, tuned up, strung up, new action, and it's purdy too. All right, let me check in. You don't know that too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know, a few details. You know, I'm kind of checking over the chat as best I can, and this guitar is going to get played at gigs. This isn't a wall hanger. It's not a going to go in a glass case. The guy that plays this thing plays it. He uses it as a tool, and so it's a lucky guitar that some other doctor doesn't own it, or a lawyer or something. It's not one of those. You know, so let's jam on this thing. See what we can see what kind of noise we can make with it. Okay. Okay. Everything seems to be working.
I got my.
You should see my pedal board. It's massive. Here we go. And thanks everybody for hanging with me today. I appreciate it. Let's see what kind of. Yeah, I gotta. If I want it to be quiet, I gotta. See what kind of bends I can get. I don't have a pedal on my or a tuner on my pedal board. And I'm not going to apologize for the snark. Played a live gig last Friday. It was amazing. that's the kind of stuff that I'm looking for, and why I play a guitar when I'm done working on it, because I know I'm not done working on it. Just found some fret buzz going on in that thing, and we need to address that. So what that means is I'm going to have to raise the string action a little bit on these strings that are fretting out. I know that, you know, places like Guitar Center and places like that, or large corporately owned Walmarts of guitar, if you will, they have techs that work there, and they don't get to do this. I don't believe they get to do this. I've worked there and I've watched them work on them, and they don't play them much. They doink, 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 and then they just send them home. And you'll end up with, if I sent that home with this guy, my reputation would immediately be bashed. So we've got to find that sort of stuff. So let's measure again. So we're at 3.5. I'm going to raise that up to 4/64, which is perfectly reasonable. I was going for kind of low string action on this bad boy, and I discovered I can't get it. Not super low. It's a TELE. These are not shredder guitars. It's not like an Ibanez or a Jackson or something like that that's really built for speed. Making very small adjustments. And the other thing is that, you know, after putting strings on an instrument and playing it for a bit, they'll settle, and or they'll move on the saddles, whatever. These tiny movements will create stuff like what I just experienced, which is needed some help. Let's tune her up and try her again. And just like that, I'm able to get 3 fret bends. 1952 TELE. There you go. There it is. That's what the serial number says. 1952. You can check it out. Another one in the books. I think this thing is pretty darn close. Usually what I do when I'm done setting up a guitar like this is I let it sit and hang overnight and then check it tomorrow to make sure nothing bit back. And this thing should be in really, really good shape. And thank you all for hanging with me. Yep. Yeah. Hey, Feisty, welcome. Nice to see you here. Yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out with me today, and I appreciate it. And I'm happy to share what I do. So hopefully that some of you, if you live, especially like myself, live in a pretty remote area of the world, having somebody around to do this sort of stuff for you is not always possible. Or it costs money, and maybe you don't have enough money. And hopefully you'll learn something from the things that I'm sharing with you. He watched me set up the intonation on an instrument today, pull the neck off of a guitar with the strings on, put a shim in the neck. All that stuff is stuff that, as your guitar player, it's possible to do. It does definitely take some experience, and whose guitar is better to screw up than your own? All right. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Vanzini, thank you, man. I hope to get over to that side and maybe shake your hand one of these days. We'll see what happens. I am definitely going to be in the Portland area before, well, it's probably going to be springtime at this point. But, yeah. Yeah. Thank you, cuz. Hat. Richard, thank you for being here. Feisty, thank you for being here. Mike Shanner, thank you for being here. Great Vanzini, Zach. Let's see, who did I miss? Who did I miss? Man. Rhodey, if you're still here, thank you for hanging out. Yeah, I had a few pretty. And Karen, thank you for being here today. Come to Ontario for a vacay. You got snow on the ground yet? We're working on it hard here, man. Oh, you're very welcome. Tell your old man hello from me. I love listening to him play and sing, man. He is amazing. Yeah. I think, what I can do is I can let the stream just kind of run. And if you guys want to talk amongst yourselves. No snow yet. Okay, good. Cool. It snowed here today, but just briefly, and it was just a little, there wasn't nothing even on the ground. Hey, thanks for hanging with me, all. Be sure to check out Preston Smith and the Falcrow on Wednesdays, and check out Metalhead Hippie on Fridays. Check out Ron Ward on Mondays. Of course, you all know all that stuff, so I mean, I'm talking to myself. Here we go. Peace, y'all. I'm gonna shut things down.